Welcome to Gear Up and Go. If you have ever watched my channel before, you probably know that I like to drive my truck deep into any national forest around me and camp. In one of my recent trips to the Ouachita Forest, I probably drove around 100 miles on bumpy forest roads. This made me think real hard about deflating my tires for a more comfortable ride, but I didn't have a way to air them back up when it was time to head home. That's what brings us here to this video. I'm going to install an air compressor in my engine bay so that I can deflate and inflate my tires easily for a more smoother ride. If you've been thinking about doing this to your rig, this video is for you. What's going on? Welcome back to Gear Up and Go. I'm Rick, and we are back in the garage for another project. So this one is, I'm going to try and put an air compressor into my engine bay so I can easily deflate my tires. So I got this, Ironman 4x4 compressor, and I'm going to try to put it where the extra battery tray is, so I can just be, in the engine bay at all times. I don't have to carry it around and then put it back in the truck and all that stuff. I got this one because it's smaller, so it should fit in the battery tray pretty easily without too much crazy stuff. And also it's pretty cheap, so as long as it can air up my tires within a reasonable amount of time, I'll be pretty happy with it. So yeah, I'm gonna try. Don't think it should be too tough, but I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so the theory of how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna put it in the extra battery tray of the truck, and I got these battery hold down clamps with a bolt. The contour of them fits pretty well with the plate of the compressor here, so it should hold it pretty well. If it can hold a battery, it can hold a little compressor. So I have two of them, so they should kind of go one on each side. Now there's a stock hole for one battery hold down clamp, so I'm probably gonna have to drill a hole in the tray for another one and then go like that. I'm also gonna have to find some nuts for the underside of the tray, but that's kind of the theory of how I'm going to do it. And then I'll probably cut these and then wire this into my battery, and then it's got a switch, and should be good to go. I also got some Morflate 4-way valve inflator kit, and it's compatible with the 4x4 Ironman connection. And I mentioned just real quick that I'm not sponsored by these companies. I wasn't given these products. I bought this with my own money, so this is a pretty just unbiased install. And if it works, I'll be happy. And if it doesn't, I'll tell you. But I will try and find all the part numbers and maybe some affiliate links. So if you do want to help out the channel, that would be appreciated. But if not, I'm just doing this for fun, so it's all good. But first order of business is I'm going to take my wheel off, and also the wheel well liner, so that I can get to the bottom of the extra battery tray. And I did already test fit it. It does fit pretty nicely in there, so yeah, let's get to work. So, the air compressor is going to sit right here. Then I have battery hold down right here, and then I have to find a nut to go underneath it. So then I'm going to go get some hardware for those bolts, and then I'll tighten this one down. And we're going to have to mark a hole for the other side, drill it, and then put a bolt through it, so it shouldn't be too bad, really. Alright, just got back from the hardware store. Spent $2.52 for 2 nuts and a washer. So let's go see if I can get that one side bolted down, and then we'll drill a hole for the other side. And hopefully it should be pretty much mounted at that point. Alright, so we got the hole down and the bolt. Put it right there. Now I just need to determine, so right there would be pretty flush with the bracket, or the plate of the compressor. So I just need to put the hardware on the underside of the bolt, and we'll see how tight that is. Then I'll drill the other side, mark a hole and drill that, and then fasten her down. Alright, so the bolt is like right next to the wheel well. So it might be a little bit difficult to secure it with the bolt, but I'll figure it out. Alright, so I got the wrench wedged on the nut. I'm gonna try and tighten it down with a socket wrench on top. That probably won't work, but it'd be nice if it would, because it's kind of hard to get two hands on it, on each side. So there's one clamp. Now I just need the other side, and it should hold it down. Alright, so I kind of mocked up the other battery hold down in there. So I'm going to put it as far forward as possible to avoid the washer fluid reservoir. So now I just drill a hole, and hopefully it'll work pretty well. But this side's pretty tight, so that's a good sign. So as long as I get this one butted up to the plate pretty well, it should work out. All right, so I'm just gonna make sure I got it where I want it. That feels good. And then I got this little welding marker, and just kind of give it a see if that worked. Oh yeah. So there's our mark. Let's drill a hole and cross our fingers. All right, so let's start stepping the bit up to close to what the bolt is. All right, gonna go slow. Don't want to hit my washer reservoir. We'll try this 1/4 inch bit and then see if the bolt will go through. All right, here is 5/16. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so that hard part's done. Now we just need to bolt her down. All right, here we go. Tuck it up under that one. Nice and tight. Like that. And get my other hole down here. So that's how we're looking so far. One clamp is already bolted. Then we have this one getting ready to get bolted down. So I drop my bolt in there. Just put a nut on it and call it a day. All right, so this bolt's a little bit more difficult to get to because it's way in the back, but I put a little tape on my nut and washer, so hopefully that'll help out a little bit. I got her on there. Well, unfortunately, didn't quite work. It's pretty tight. You definitely can't pull it out, but it's just not tight enough. So it's gonna need something else to reinforce it. It's pretty close, but yeah, I'm gonna have to get some sort of piece of metal to go around the compressor, because I don't want that thing just wobbling around in there. It's gonna eventually mess up somehow, so have to figure something out here. All right, so here's my solution. I got some siding. I think it's like some gardening siding I found, and so I'm gonna cut that to where it's the width of the compressor, and so I'm gonna put a bolt through here and then through the wheel well, and then these will be connected together through the siding. So I'm thinking that should hold it a lot more stable. You know, maybe I'm getting a little desperate, but I just really want this to work, and I want to finish it today because I don't feel like taking that wheel well liner out. So gonna try and see if this will work. Just cut that off with a grinder real quick. We'll see if this plate will kind of bolster the whole thing a little bit. If not, I don't know. I guess I'll just carry it like a normal person. But I don't know, it's worth a shot. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we got a little bracket mocked up. Now let's just see. Let's try and alright, so I finagled those two battery clamp mounts on there, as long as the bracket that I just cut up real quick underneath. So let's tighten this up and cross our fingers that it holds pretty steady. So yeah, I finally got this thing mounted. It's pretty secure. It's not moving. I mean, it's not coming out of there. The only thing that's moving is the bushings on the base plate. But other than that, it's got two bolts in the battery clamps, and then I cut this little bracket out real quick to just kind of tie it all in together so there's no movement. Got some good hardware in there, some lock nuts and the washer. I don't know if you can see that one. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's mounted. It took a little, I don't know, thinking outside the box. So yeah, the hard part's over. Now it's just time to wire it up and then give it a good test run. Okay, so I got it hooked up to my disconnect switch for the winch. So the positive side hooks up to that, and then I have it grounded to the firewall. So I have all the wires routed. So now it's time for the final reveal. Hopefully this thing works. So we'll flip the disconnect switch and then try the compressor. All right, here's a big moment. Looks like it's working. A lot of fooling around, but we got it. So, oh, look at that.
Satellite is working in there?
Yes, sir. She's working. All right, so I heading down to about 20, 21 PSI. And so now I'm gonna try to air them back up to, I believe I had 32 originally. So let's, first I have to do the disconnect switch. All right. And then turn it on. All right, so I went down from 20 to about 32 PSI, which is what I normally run on the street. So that took about 5 minutes, and we'll say 55 seconds. I'll let it run a little bit. So yeah, I think that's pretty good for me. I'll usually only go to about 20 PSI when I go off-roading. I don't go too low, so from 20 to 32 PSI in about less than 6 minutes, I'll take it. The compressor did pretty good. It's still in there, so that's good. It's a little warm, but it did just fine. All right, y'all, that's about it. We got it installed into the engine bay, into the extra battery tray. Had a little tough time getting that secured in there pretty good, but I think the little plate I made worked out pretty well. Other than that, wiring it up was pretty straightforward. Just grounded it to the firewall and then got power from my disconnect switch. Yeah, and it worked just fine on the first test run. It went from 20 PSI to 32, which is my street tire pressure, in about 6 minutes. A little under 6 minutes, so I'll take it. But if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. And I'm just kind of wondering how well it's going to stand up to being in the elements and all of the heat from the engine. So hopefully this will last me a good little while. But yeah, it's really hot and there's a lot of bugs. So that's about the end of this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.